Thank you for having me here. XLRI has always been special, even though I am Ahmedabad for the competitive purpose, and more so after I have started working in Jharkhand from last 4-5 months in a space of skill development for rural youth. So after I got the subject of instruments of change, I started thinking. I have always thought about change as the only constant, which one of the speakers also said, that change is the only constant. And when I started thinking about how I have took decisions, it was always to create a change. So my story today reflects part of how I have worked with the rural youth, how I have saw a problem in its entirety and tried to work towards it. As last video said, that there is a procrastinator in every one of us. So I am also guilty of that, being an engineer and in management. There have been moments of procrastination, and mind if there are silly mistakes in that. So thank you for that. And let's start. So it goes back to the story when I was young. So there is a popular festival called Saraswati Puja. I come from Bihar, a small town in Bihar. So when there was a Saraswati Puja procession happening, there were a lot of youth who are busy in arranging it, in the immersion of the idol, and everything was happening around. I saw so many youth are actively present there. But as a young person, I thought, are there enough jobs for all of them? How are they going to live their life forward? And I knew that coming from a place where I have been studying, not many of them were even studied up to class 10th. So I worried where it is going up to. What are the options for these people who come from the rural, who have a skill dropout? So I made it a project for myself when I was in graduation years of IIT. And then this came out. So when I studied that, this is the current reality for Indian rural youth. So more than 1 out of 10 youth, 1 is unemployed. This is only the recorded number. Unrecorded goes beyond that. And in the current government years, as government is also being having pushback, that this unemployment rate is close to 10%, which is highest ever in the country. And when I look at it from a rural perspective also, most of them, in fact, the number says that average 50% cannot have the basic employability like skills. They cannot do basic maths. They cannot read a proper paragraph by themselves, even in their regional language. So how will an employer, even having a job, will employ them? And this is the problem with a lot of graduates and diploma degree holders. Forget about those who are even 10 dropouts. So current career option for, see the number, 32.6 year. Rural youth, and there 52% boys, 48% girls also. Don't forget the girls who are in the rural area, what options they have. So currently boys who are 17 CR up to class 10, what are the options there? If they stay back, if they decide to stay back in the village, they only have farm labor like work. They can either be a farmer or they can be a farm labor in Manrega like schemes or on another tenant with a landowner. For somebody who chooses to migrate to an urban center, he can be a driver, he can be just a construction labor, he can be a cleaner, but doesn't have any social security as such. If you look at the girls also have option of either becoming a self-help group member, which has now become possible because of the government intervention in rural area. They can do some of the semi mushroom cultivation like hathkargha or bangle making, like those opportunities are there, but those are very small. Other than that, if they want to shift to the urban centers, they can be a housemaid, cleaner, receptionist, that's all. They don't have that many options. And these become 85% of those population. Like they are school dropouts. More than 27 crore such youth wait for possible opportunities to have gainful employment. And that keeps always me thinking what can we do about them? What are the possible more opportunities for them? And when so it's not that the people who have passed 10th or 12th are happy, and in wherever they are having enough opportunity. They are also facing problem, but the numbers are lesser on that side, and there are more opportunity available and more opening up for them. So the idea is to focus more towards where 80% of the population is there and can be done better by putting 20% of the effort. So the Pareto law applies to all ideas that we have tried in our lives, even for the studies also. So this is what I made a mission for my life. So when I look at any job, it is with any school dropout or any qualified professional. For any person to be gainfully employed, these three prerequisites have to be satisfied. There should be enough number of jobs which are in enough numbers, have a stable income. There has to be some skill which can differentiate you. No one can replace immediately. And that there has to be provider of that skill, either through schools, either through vocational courses or program. And third, most important, there has to be a match between aspirations and your skill. You cannot desire to be a NASA engineer by being a bonded labor, not working for it. So there has to be a skill and aspiration match. There has to be enough scope of growth in future. Any career opportunity that stops at a certain level is not likable by everyone. So considering this, first of the initiative that I tried was being an agripreneur. I came back to my native state, Bihar, and thought that this could be an idea which can influence a lot of youth in rural area by creating opportunities for agri and allied activities. So the problem is there are three key stakeholders in this. First is the landowners or the farmer. They have land, but they don't know what to grow. There are youth who either are employed in their own land or they don't have land, but they are clueless, they don't want to be in that space. Third is the health conscious consumers who don't find enough options available in the market, or lot of vegetables and fruits are poison, if you can say the word safely, but it is laced with pesticides and chemical fertilizers. So all three are facing problem. We came with a solution which can employ all three of them. The land tenant or the landowner can supply land holdings where these youth can be employed as a farm managers, and these farm managers will be given a routine calendar for the whole year where they can grow crops as well as apply any allied activities like mushroom, honeybee rearing, dairy cultivation, so that a sustained supply of income can come. At the another side, the health conscious consumers also can get regular supply of food. So all three people are getting benefits of the system by providing a consultancy which is on farm design. Land is designed beautifully and in a most optimal way. Then the farm manager is remotely monitored over what his performance has been. Third, there is a certification which is provided by government accredited agencies. And fourth, there is an assured supply chain to cater to the market. So this is working very fine, but there are challenges to this system. That challenge is high initial capex. The land design which has to be done needs a good amount of investment. There are few takers for it. A person cannot do it individually unless there is a good government support for it. Second is the farm manager. Even though it sounds like a good term, the youth knows what he has to do. He has to be in the field in the rural area, and that's not an aspirational job to take up. So it takes a hard bargain to involve them into this space. And third is the supply chain issues. Being located in a geography like Bihar, Jharkhand, we are far away from original consumers, organic consumers which are in metros like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. But the supply chain costs are huge. So it's not easy to cater to them unless they are willing to pay premium for it. So there are challenges, understood. But so this was what I was doing for 3 years when I was knee deep in Bihar, working with 1,500 farmers, creating FPOs in 250 villages. And I realized that it's not possible by one person. There is a lot of wheels that have to keep moving simultaneously. So that we have decided to. Also, we are engaging with cash-rich clients who can pay. Government is also being roped in so that it can be in a PPP mode, or it can be a contract farming mode where the corporates can also get involved. But this is a long term. This is not possible in one go or 1 year like a startup culture we are more nuanced to in these days. So I started looking at engaging youth from now different lens. And that lens is this. This is a demand-led vocational training. In this, in Jharkhand we are working. Government of Jharkhand is involved. They are providing capex. They are set up, and the funding the initial support funds for skilling these youth. We at Parfi, we are operationalizing the whole setup, from deploying, getting the candidates from rural area to training them as per NSQF guidelines, as well as putting them into companies which have assured demand. So it's a 100% demand-led placement model. Tribal youth are getting opportunities which was unheard of. They were either going through the contract laborers which had no job security, but through us they are getting assured job placement. High quality certified training. CSR partners are donating so that more and more impact can be garnered. There are funding providers like SDFC, NABARD, which are able to mobilize rural funds for captive gains. These tribal youth are getting employed not just in India, in abroad also. That's the quality of training we have done. And there are BD clients, business development. There are companies in construction, sewing machine operations, textiles, MEP. There are different trades. We provide construction, we provide trainings across 14 trades. And it's an end-to-end model. So it starts from collecting the demand from the clients, operationalizing that demand into the training model, and that training model then caters to the sourcing of the candidates. Once the candidates are onboarded, convinced that they can get benefits out of job by getting into the training scheme, they are brought into a 100% residential setup. We have a setup in every district of Jharkhand. That is led by an ex-army principle, which involves creating a discipline, the way of life, and also ensuring that the curriculum is followed very religiously. And lastly, there is an assessment which is done by the third party as well as client, post which offers are rolled. These tribal youth have never seen an offer rolled out to them before. So this is a huge change for them. And finally, it's also, the work doesn't stop there. It goes on to the on-the-job support. We go beyond, we see whether they are retained in the job, they are facing issues within 3-4 months or a year. Whenever they face issues, that is getting resolved through our mechanism, our relationship with the BD clients. So it's an end-to-end where we see the happiness grow step by step. But we know that this is not the solution. They are away from home. They are always irritated. They want to come back. But they cannot do that because there is money involved. There is no source of livelihood back at home. And then that's the model that I have in mind, and I have thought that two-pronged strategy can work. One, invest more in agriculture. Look at it from a long-term perspective. Take out people away from agriculture because it's already too much people in the agriculture space. So we have to take out people away from agriculture, involve them in available jobs, in blue collar jobs, and for which there are enough technical courses available. There are quick deployment, there are jobs, and there's assured cash flow which they can supply back home. So the agriculture which is facing pressure because there is not enough cash to take care of crop growth or crop failure, that can be catered by the cash flow supplied from the blue collar job. So every family, if I remember how our grandparents used to think about the multiple children, one of them would go away from village and keep sending money back. But the other one will be involved in the farm activities and make it productive. What will it ensure? It will ensure the families will have healthy life, the food security is ensured, and the village which is getting deserted nowadays can bring back to the, it can become alive now. So that's the two-pronged model which can work. I'm not sure it will work. It's the model that we are working towards. Our next project is going to be in Bihar. After Jharkhand, we have this model ready. So these are the candidates which are getting placed and going together in different companies. This is our SMO operator setup. In Jamshedpur also, we have a big international style, catering to international clients. There is a setup in Jamshedpur, very close to here. So people from XLRI can plan and visit us. So we have a setup in every district of Jharkhand. And this is a model which works very well. Government is also happy. In fact, with the change in government, this is the first time one of the agencies is not facing the heat of it, because we are the performing entities, and performing entities rarely face the heat. So till now, we have placed around 15,000 youth in different companies, more than 500 in international clients in Dubai, Kuwait, Qatar, some in across that also. So this is the model I'm currently working on, and all of us can be an instrument of change by enabling it, making it possible, either by volunteering with us, either by working with us, or just by telling some of the underprivileged youth that you can also go there and try your hands at it. And after seeing this happening, I recall back my days of Saraswati Puja, which was happening. Very recently, there was Saraswati Puja procession happening in front of my house. And I have a son who was looking at the crowd and saying, oh, he had a very perplexed expression, and I understood what he was thinking about. But I know I am not very confused right now, because I know I have a solution right now. So thank you for giving me an opportunity here.